Let's talk about the real fight, the only fight that ever mattered. Not you vs them, not you vs the world, it's you vs you. Every morning, there's a version of you that wants comfort, soft, easy, familiar. And then there's the version that wants greatness, uncomfortable, uncertain, unstoppable. The question is, which one wins today? You can run from the world, you can hide behind success, and you can wear the mask of confidence so well that people start believing it's real. But when you're standing in front of that mirror, everything falls away. The mirror doesn't care about your followers, your job title, your applause, or your excuses. It reflects the truth. It knows when you've been settling. It knows when you've been drifting. It knows the promises you made to yourself and quietly broke. Every time you tell yourself tomorrow, that mirror remembers. Every time you cut corners, it knows. You can lie to everyone else, but not to your reflection. It is your most honest witness, your rawest reminder, and your toughest competitor. There's something sacred about that moment of stillness, when your eyes meet your own in that reflection. It's uncomfortable, sometimes even painful, because you can feel the distance between who you are and who you are meant to be. That feeling, that quiet tension, isn't there to shame you. It's there to wake you up. It's the whisper of your higher self saying you can do better, you can be more. The mirror shows you both versions of yourself, the one who plays small, who hides behind fear and convenience, and the one who's waiting to be unleashed. The fighter, the visionary, the unstoppable force buried under hesitation. Every time you look away, you delay that transformation. But every time you hold your own gaze, you take one step closer to becoming that version. Most people avoid mirrors when they feel lost. They avoid silence too, because silence amplifies truth. But real growth begins the day you stop avoiding yourself. Look at that reflection and see beyond the surface. See the fatigue in your eyes, the hunger in your spirit, the lessons in your scars. Those eyes have seen you survive what you thought would destroy you. That face carries stories no one else will ever fully understand. So, when you see yourself, see everything, the victories, the mistakes, the resilience, the growth. That's not weakness staring back at you. That's power unrecognized. You've already proven that you can endure. Now it's time to prove that you can evolve. The mirror is not your enemy, it's your training ground. Every time you stand before it, you have two choices: justification or accountability. Justification says, it's not my fault. Accountability says, this is mine to fix. And that decision shapes everything, because until you take ownership, nothing changes. You can't rewrite your story while holding on to excuses. You can't chase your future while blaming your past. The mirror demands honesty, and honesty is the foundation of transformation. It's where strength begins. Not in pretending to be unbreakable, but in admitting where you've been broken and choosing to rebuild anyway. That's how you rise, not through perfection, but through courage. And here's the truth. The mirror doesn't just reflect your face, it reflects your effort. It sees the late nights you avoided, the workouts you skipped, the goals you postponed. It also sees the moments you showed up when no one was watching. It sees your sacrifices, your quiet victories, your persistence in silence. It sees you. And that's the beauty of it, because even when the world overlooks you, the mirror doesn't. It witnesses your consistency. It knows your truth. And when you start aligning your actions with your words, that reflection begins to change. Not just how you look, but how you feel about the person you're becoming. That's when confidence stops being something you perform and becomes something you live. So stop negotiating with the mirror. Stop looking. G for shortcuts to your own evolution. The reflection you see isn't judging you, it's inviting you. It's daring you to rise to your own potential. Every day it asks the same question: will you meet me here? Will you show up for yourself today? Because the mirror doesn't demand perfection. It demands presence. It demands that you stop running from your truth and start walking toward your greatness. That's where it all begins, Not in comparison, not in validation, but in self-confrontation. The moment you stop fighting the reflection and start listening to it, you begin your transformation. The mirror doesn't lie. It shows you exactly who you are and who you still have the power to become. And when you finally choose to face it, when you finally decide to stop breaking promises to yourself, you reclaim that power. Because the mirror is not there to remind you of your flaws, it's there to remind you of your fight, where every line, every scar, every shadow, it all tells the story of someone who's still standing. So the next time you see your reflection, don't look away. Don't hide. Stand tall. Meet your own eyes and say, I'm not done yet. Because you're not. The version of you that you've been chasing, it's been waiting right there in the glass all along, waiting for you to believe, to commit, to become. Because the real battle was never against the world, it was always you versus you. And the moment you stop fearing that reflection and start becoming it, that's the moment you win. You won't always wake up feeling like the person who can conquer the world. Some mornings, your energy will feel drained before the day even begins. You'll stare at your goals and wonder why they still seem so far away. You'll question your purpose, your timing, your worth. And that's when most people give in. That's when emotions take the wheel and drive them straight back into comfort. But here's the truth. Your emotions are temporary. Your decisions are permanent. The person who wins is not the one who always feels strong, but the one who shows up anyway. You can't let the way you feel in a moment decide the quality of your life. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you're destined to become. And you cross it one choice at a time. There's a lie we've been sold that motivation is what drives success. It's not. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire. Motivation shows up when it's easy, when the music is loud and the energy is high. But discipline shows up when the room is quiet, when no one's watching, when no one cares. It's that quiet, consistent voice that says, "You do it anyway." Discipline doesn't ask how you feel, it commands what you do. You can have 1,000 dreams and 0 results if you're waiting for motivation to strike. Because the truth is, the people you admire aren't more talented than you. They're just more consistent. They've mastered the art of doing what needs to be done, even when it's the last thing they feel like doing. That's the difference between potential and progress. Think about the moments that built you, the ones that really mattered. They weren't the times you felt unstoppable. They were the times you were exhausted, doubting yourself, ready to quit, but you didn't. That's when character is born. Discipline isn't glamorous, it's gritty. It's the 5 a.m. alarm when your body screams for sleep. It's saying no to distractions that feel good but get you nowhere. It's writing one more page, taking one more rep, practicing one more time when no one sees. It's not about being perfect, it's about being relentless. The secret isn't to wait for inspiration, it's to act until it returns. Because once you understand that emotions are guests but discipline is home, you'll never again let your feelings dictate your destiny. Discipline is also the purest form of self-respect. When you say you'll do something and you do it, you build trust with yourself. That's the foundation of confidence. People think confidence company marries from results, but it actually comes from reliability, the kind you build with yourself. Every time you follow through on your word, you prove that you can count on you. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen your self-belief. And eventually, discipline becomes your identity. It's no longer about forcing yourself to do the hard thing. It's just who you are. That's the shift. You go from chasing discipline to embodying it. From pushing yourself to living it. That's when power becomes natural, not forced. But discipline isn't cold. It's freedom. It's not a cage that traps you. It's the structure that sets you free. When you're disciplined, you're no longer ruled by impulse, by moods, by the chaos of the day. You're in control. You decide how your time is spent, how your energy is used, how your story unfolds. The undisciplined life feels free on the surface, but is chained underneath to regret, to inconsistency, to missed opportunities. The disciplined life might feel demanding at first, but it leads to liberation because you finally know that you can trust yourself to do the work. You no longer wait for the right time, you are created it. You don't hope for consistency, you become it. That's where the real power lies, in ownership. And yes, discipline hurts, it's supposed to. Growth isn't painless and strength isn't soft. But the pain of discipline is temporary. The pain of regret lasts forever. Every time you push through that resistance, you're building something invisible inside you. Grit, focus, resilience. It's like lifting weights for your soul. You may not see it right away, but one day you'll look back and realize that every act of discipline was a brick in the foundation of your power. The days you didn't give up, the nights you kept going, the choices you made when no one was watching, they all add up. And suddenly, you're not chasing greatness anymore, you've become it. You because in the end, the goal isn't to feel good, it's to become unstoppable. The people who win aren't fueled by emotion, they're anchored by discipline. They show up when it's hard, when it's inconvenient, when it's lonely. And that's what makes them unbreakable. Discipline over emotion, always. That's how you stop reacting and start rising. That's how you turn potential into power. That's how you win the fight of you versus you. Pain. The one word we spend our entire lives trying to avoid. We label it as bad, we fear it, we run from it. But here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. Pain is the greatest teacher you will ever have. It's not there to break you, it's there to high-build you. Every powerful person you've ever admired has been forged in pain. You don't learn resilience from comfort. You don't learn strength from ease. You don't grow by winning every time. You grow by falling and getting back up again. Pain strips away the illusion of who you thought you were and reveals who you really are. It's the fire that burns away your weakness and leaves behind only what's real, what's strong, what's unshakable. You don't rise in spite of the pain, you rise because of it. When you start to see pain differently, everything changes. The next time life hits you hard, don't ask why me, ask what is this trying to teach me? Because hidden inside every painful experience is a lesson tailored just for you. The heartbreak that shattered your heart, it taught you how to value your worth. The failure that embarrassed you, it taught you humility and hunger. The rejection that made you question yourself, it redirected you to something better. Pain doesn't come to destroy, it comes to transform. And the moment you stop resisting it, the moment you stop seeing yourself as a victim of it, it becomes your greatest advantage. You stop being the person things happen to, and you become the person things happen for. That's the mindset shift that separates those who crumble from those who conquer. Pain also reveals what truly matters. When you're comfortable, it's easy to get distracted, to chase things that don't fulfill you, to settle for mediocrity, to play it safe. But pain wakes you up. It reminds you of your priorities. It strips away the noise and forces you to face yourself. The tough seasons in your life, the heartbreaks, the losses, the disappointments, those are the moments that carve out your purpose. You start realizing what deserves your energy and what doesn't. You start valuing peace over approval, growth over comfort, progress over perfection. You stop chasing what looks good and start chasing what feels right, because pain doesn't just make you tougher. It makes you clearer. It purifies your focus. It silences the trivial and amplifies the truth. The thing about pain is, it demands honesty. You can't hide behind excuses when you're hurting. Pain brings everything to the surface. It exposes your fears, your doubts, your weaknesses. But that's not a curse. It's a gift. Because you can't fix what you won't face. Pain forces you to face it. It breaks the walls you've built around yourself and says, hey, this is who you are. Now what are you going to do about it? And that's where growth begins. In that raw, unfiltered confrontation with yourself. The people who never grow are the ones who spend their whole lives numbing their pain, avoiding their truth, and running from discomfort. But the ones who dare to feel it, who sit in the discomfort and learn from it, they become unstoppable. Pain is not weakness leaving the body, it's truth entering the soul. Every scar you carry is proof that you survived something that tried to end you. Every wound that healed is a reminder that pain doesn't last, but the strength it gives you does. The world might see your scars as flaws, but they're actually your medals of honor. They mean you fought battles that others never saw. They mean you kept going when quitting would have been easier. They mean you didn't just survive, you evolved. Tati, so stop hiding your scars. Wear them, own them, let them speak for you. Because they tell the story of someone who faced pain and refused to bow to it. Someone who turned their suffering into strength. Someone who learned to see pain not as punishment, but as preparation. And that's what pain really is, preparation. Every challenge you faced was preparing you for the next chapter of your story. Every disappointment was teaching you resilience. Every failure was sharpening your focus. Every heartbreak was expanding your capacity to love. You can't get to power without passing through pain. It's the toll you pay for greatness. But once you've paid it, no one can take that power away from you. You've earned it, you've lived it, and that's the kind of power that doesn't fade. Because you didn't get it handed to you, you fought for it. We also don't run from pain. Embrace it, learn from it, grow through it, because every time you face it head on, you take another step toward your highest self. Pain isn't your enemy, it's your evolution. And when you understand that every struggle is shaping your strength, every loss is planting the seed of a comeback, and every fall is training you to rise higher, you stop fearing pain and start mastering it, because pain doesn't make you weaker, it makes you dangerous. And that's where real power begins. Excuses are seductive. They come wrapped in logic, coated with reason, and whispered in a voice that sounds a lot like your own. You're tired. You don't have time. You've already done enough. They sound innocent, even comforting, but make no mistake, excuses are the chains that keep your potential locked away. Every time you listen to one, you hand over your power. Excuses are not real limitations, they're carefully constructed lies we tell ourselves to avoid discomfort. They give us permission to stay small, to stay safe, to stay exactly where we are. And while the world applauds your explanations, your future quietly waits, wondering when you'll finally stop, believing the stories that hold you back. The truth is, every excuse has one purpose: to protect your comfort zone. The human mind is designed to avoid pain and seek ease. So when you say, I don't have time, what you really mean is, I don't want to face the discomfort required to make time. When you say, I'm not ready, what you mean is, I'm scared to fail. But here's the hard truth. Comfort is the silent killer of ambition. It convinces you to play safe, to wait until conditions are perfect, to settle for less than what you're capable of. Yet the irony is, the longer you wait for ready, the further away success drifts. No one ever feels ready. The right moment doesn't come, it's created. The people who achieve greatness don't wait for fear to disappear. They move with it, through it, or despite it. Excuses thrive in comparison. You look at someone else's success and think, they have something I don't. You tell yourself they had better opportunities, more resources, more luck. But comparison is just another distraction dressed up as logic. Everyone has reasons not to start. The difference is, successful people don't listen to theirs. They feel the same fear, the same doubt, the same exhaustion, but they act anyway. They refuse to let their limitations define them. The truth is, your excuses will sound convincing until you meet someone who's achieved more with less. That's when the illusion breaks. Because the problem was never the lack of time, talent, or support. It was the abundance of excuses. Let's be honest, excuses are comfortable because accountability is heavy. It's easier to say, life got in the way, than to admit, I didn't prioritize what mattered. But accountability is where transformation begins. The moment you stop defending your limitations, you start dismantling them. Taking responsibility for your choices doesn't make you weak, it makes you powerful. Because when everything is someone else's fault, you're helpless. But when it's your responsibility, you suddenly hold the power to change it. Accountability is ownership, and ownership is freedom. The day you decide to take full responsibility for your life, your results, your failures, your success, is the day you reclaim control. Excuses are clever, they adapt. They evolve as you do. When you overcome one, another takes its place. You'll outgrow "I don't have time," and then face "I don't have energy." You'll conquer "I can't do this," only to meet "I don't deserve this." That's the trap. Excuses don't vanish, they disguise themselves. But here's the trick: awareness kills them. The moment you recognize an excuse for what it is, a barrier built from fear, you disarm it. It loses its power. You stop giving it oxygen. Because once you see your excuses clearly, you can no longer hide behind them. You either keep choosing them, or you start choosing yourself. You can't do both. The truth is, your dreams are waiting on the other side of your excuses. Every single one. The job you want, the body you want, the life you want, they're not being held back by fate, luck, or other people. They're being held back by the limits you've accepted. It's not about having more. It's about doing more with what you already have. The clock isn't your enemy, your comfort is. The world doesn't owe you opportunities, it responds to your effort. So stop rehearsing your excuses and start rewriting your narrative. You don't need permission to start. You don't need the perfect moment. You don't need everything figured out. You just need to decide that your growth matters more than your comfort. Away, because every time you choose your excuses, you lose a piece of your potential. But every time you choose responsibility, you reclaim your power. Excuses are lies meant to protect your limits. Accountability is truth that expands them. So the next time that little voice says, "I can't," answer it with, "Watch me." The next time fear tells you to wait, move anyway, because success doesn't come to the one who waits. It comes to the one who acts. And when you finally silence your excuses and step into ownership, you'll realize that your biggest obstacle was never the world, it was you. And now you're done standing in your own way. A confidence. Everyone wants it, but few truly understand where it comes from. We're told to believe in ourselves, as if confidence is some kind of magic switch we can flip. But confidence isn't a gift. It's not something that suddenly appears one day when life gets easier or people start clapping for you. It's something you earn. You earn it in the quiet moments when you choose effort over excuses. You earn it every time you show up when you don't feel like it. Confidence is not built through talk, it's built through action. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, every time you push through doubt, every time you follow through when it would have been easier to quit, you're stacking bricks of self-trust. That's how true confidence is built, from evidence, not empty words. The problem is, most people are waiting to feel confident before they act. They think confidence must come first. But it's the opposite. Action comes first, confidence follows. You don't become confident by waiting for the right mindset. You become confident by proving to yourself that you can do hard things. Think about it. Every skill you've ever mastered, every goal you've ever achieved, came after you started, never before. The first time you tried, you weren't ready. You were awkward, unsure, maybe even scared, but you did it anyway. And each time you showed up, you built evidence that you could. Confidence is a byproduct of consistency. You don't think your way into it, you e-worker your way into it. But here's what no one tells you. Confidence is also fragile. You can't fake it for long because your mind knows the truth. If your actions don't align with your words, your brain calls you out. That's why fake confidence feels hollow. It's performance without proof. True confidence doesn't need to shout. It speaks quietly, through presence, through certainty, through alignment. It's the calm that comes from knowing you've done the work. It's walking into a room and not needing validation because you've already validated yourself. You've earned your confidence through consistency. You no longer need to convince anyone else, you simply there. That's the kind of confidence that lasts. Confidence is also not arrogance. Arrogance is loud because it's insecure, it feeds on attention. Confidence is silent because it's secure, it feeds on self-trust. Arrogance says, I'm better than you. Confidence says, I'm better than I was yesterday. The truly confident don't compete with others. They compete with who they used to be. And that's why confidence and humility are not opposites. They coexist. When you know your worth, you no longer need to prove it. You don't need to diminish others to feel powerful. Confidence built on effort and self-respect creates a quiet strength, a kind of grounded power that people feel the moment you walk in. You don't have to announce it, you live it. And yes, confidence wavers. Even the strongest people question themselves sometimes, but the difference is they don't let that doubt dictate their actions. They've built enough evidence to silence that voice that says, you can't. They've trained their minds to remember who they are and what they've overcome. Real confidence isn't about never feeling afraid. It's about trusting yourself enough to move through the fear. You might not always feel brave, but you act brave anyway. That's confidence. Because it's not about perfection. It's about self-trust. It's about knowing that no matter what happens, you'll figure it out. And once you believe that, there's nothing in the world you can't do. So stop waiting for confidence to find you. Stop thinking it's something you need to be given. You build it. One choice, one promise, one action at a time. You buoy, LD it. Every day you show up for yourself when no one's watching. You build it in your discipline, in your consistency, in your resilience. And the best part? No one can take it from you. Because it's not based on praise, appearance, or approval. It's based on proof. When your actions and your beliefs align, when you start living like the person you are meant to be, confidence becomes your natural state. It stops being something you perform and starts being something you are. Because confidence isn't found, it's forged. It's not granted, it's earned. Every time you do the thing you once thought you couldn't, you build another layer of it. Every time you follow through, even when no one's watching, you strengthen it. The world doesn't make you confident, you do. So don't wait for someone to believe in you. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Believe in your work, believe in your effort, believe in your ability to rise. Because real confidence isn't loud, it's consistent. It's not about being fearless, it's about being unstoppable. And once you've earned it, no one, not doubt, not fear, not failure, can ever take it away. Now, no one is coming to save you. It's not the world's responsibility to hand you a dream, to fix your pain, or to pull you out of your struggle. The truth that most people run from, the one that changes everything once you face it, is that you are both the problem and the solution. You are the one holding yourself back, and you are the only one capable of setting yourself free. The evolution you've been waiting for doesn't begin when circumstances get easier. It begins when you decide to stop waiting. Because life doesn't reward wishful thinking. It rewards ownership. The moment you stop expecting someone else to rescue you, guide you, or validate you, you step into your own power. You stop being a passenger and become the driver of your destiny. You realize that the strength you've been looking for has been living inside you all along, quietly waiting for permission to rise. Transformation is not a single moment. It's a choice made over and over again. It's the daily decision to become better than you were yesterday. Some days that choice feels light, inspiring, almost effortless. Other days it feels heavy, lonely, and exhausting. But that's what evolution looks like. It's not a straight line. It's a battle between your old self and your emerging self. The old you clings to comfort, to familiarity, to the illusion of safety. The new you craves growth, purpose, and power. Every day you're faced with that choice. Do you feed the version of you that's holding you back, or do you feed the one that's trying to break through? Growth will demand everything from you. Your patience, your humility, your persistence. But what you get in return is something no one can ever take away. A life lived on your terms. The evolution is deeply personal because no one else can understand the full story behind your scars. They see the surface. You feel the depth. They see the highlight reel. You remember the nights you almost gave up. That's why you can't measure your journey by someone else's path. Your growth is sacred. It's not meant to be compared. It's meant to be or experienced. The pain, the lessons, the failures, they were all designed for you. They were never meant to destroy you. They were sculpting you. Every chapter, even the darkest one, has been preparing you for what's next. When you finally realize that life isn't happening to you, but for you, everything shifts. You stop asking, why me, and start declaring, try me. Because evolution doesn't wait for your permission. It demands your participation. And yes, it gets lonely. Growth often requires isolation. You'll outgrow environments, conversations, and even people who no longer align with your vision. That's not arrogance, it's alignment. The higher you climb, the fewer people will understand your view. But that's the price of evolution. You can't reach new levels while clingy to what was comfortable. There will be moments when you question if it's worth it. When the silence feels unbearable, when your progress feels invisible, when the world moves on without you. But remember this, isolation is where transformation takes root. It's in the quiet, when no one is cheering, that your power begins to multiply. The version of you that emerges from that solitude will be unrecognizable to the one who started. The world doesn't owe you recognition. It doesn't owe you applause, fairness, or validation. But you owe yourself everything. You owe yourself the effort to chase what sets your soul on fire. You owe yourself the discipline to follow through when no one's watching. You owe yourself the respect of not quitting on your potential. Because when you stop living for approval and start living for growth, you become unstoppable. The truth is, most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they lack ownership. They wait for the world to notice them before they start acting like who they're meant to be. But the real magic happens when you start behaving like the person you want to become before anyone sees it. The recognition comes later. The evolution comes now. The version of you that you've been chasing, it's not somewhere out there. It's already inside you, waiting for you to show up. You don't need to search for it, you need to uncover it. Peel back the layers of fear, doubt, and hesitation. Let go of the habits, beliefs, and relationships that keep you small. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to start. Create it. Stop hoping someone will believe in you. Become your own proof. Because evolution isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the world made you forget. The greatness you seek isn't external. It's embedded in your DNA. You just have to awaken it through action, through belief, through relentless commitment. Oh, because at the end of it all, it was never you versus controlled by circumstances, and start controlling your destiny. Because the world doesn't hand success to those who wish, it hands it to those who will work. You don't rise by chance, you rise by choice again and again. You versus you is about more than effort. It's about honesty. It's about confronting the parts of yourself that you'd rather ignore. It's about looking at your fears and realizing they're not barriers, they're invitations. Every fear you've ever felt is just an opportunity in disguise. But you can't conquer what you refuse to face. You can't grow while pretending you're already there. The strongest people in the world aren't fearless. They're truthful. They face the pain, the doubt, the disappointment, and they don't run. They don't escape their reflection, they study it. You win. Every single time. Life will always test you. It won't ask for permission before it does. It won't wait for you to be ready or strong or confident. It will throw you into the fire, strip away your excuses, and demand that you decide who you really are. And here's the truth most people never want to hear. You don't grow from ease. You grow from adversity. Every setback, every heartbreak, every challenge is life's way of asking, how badly do you want this? Well, the universe isn't punishing you, it's preparing you. It's sculpting you into the person capable of carrying the success you say you want. Because greatness isn't built in comfort, it's forged in pressure. Every difficult moment you've ever faced has been a training ground, building resilience where weakness once lived. You just have to stop seeing obstacles as barriers and start seeing them as invitations to rise higher, dig deeper, and evolve further than before. There's a pattern to those who never reach their potential. They mistake struggle for failure. They think pain means they're on the wrong path, when in reality, it's often proof that they're on the right one. Growth hurts because it's pulling you away from what no longer fits. It's stretching you beyond your limits, breaking old beliefs, shattering patterns that once felt safe. It doesn't feel good because it's not supposed to. Transformation isn't gentle, it's gritty, raw, and uncomfortable. But every moment of resistance is a sign that something powerful is shifting inside you. You're not breaking down, you're breaking open. The discomfort you feel right now isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of a stronger chapter. When you stop running from the storm and learn to stand in it, you realize it was never there to destroy you. It was there to teach you how to fly. The most powerful people you know didn't get there because life spared them from pain. They got there because they refused to surrender to it. They learned to use pain as fuel. Every no, every failure, every betrayal became another spark that ignited their purpose. The difference between those who grow and those who give up isn't circumstance, it's perception. Most people let pain close them off, but the ones who rise, they let it open them, they allow it to refine them, they learn from it instead of hiding from it. They understand that pain is temporary, but power is permanent. Every tear, every loss, every sleepless night is an investment in their evolution. They turn pain into progress, wounds into wisdom, and heartbreak into hunger. That's how strength is born, not in the absence of pain, but in the courage to turn it into power. And yet, too many people waste their struggle. They endure pain but never learn from it. They survive the lesson but miss the message. Pain without reflection is just suffering. But pain with awareness, that's transformation. You have to look at what broke you and ask, what is this teaching me? Because there's always a lesson in the chaos. Maybe it's patience, maybe it's letting go. Maybe it's realizing your worth or discovering that you can stand on your own when you once believed you couldn't. The universe repeats lessons until you learn them, and the sooner you stop resisting, the faster you evolve. Every painful chapter is a mirror, showing you where you need to grow, where you still hold fear, and where you've been dimming your own light. Don't just survive your pain. Study it, master it. Let it become the catalyst for your rebirth. When you start embracing pain as part of the process, fear begins to lose its power. You stop flinching every time life hits hard. You stop asking, why me, and start declaring, try me. Because now you understand that strength isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. You realize that every challenge was actually a gift in disguise, preparing you for a version of life you couldn't handle before. The things that once made you doubt yourself become the very things that define you. Pain teaches you resilience, clarity, and purpose. It burns away everything fake, leaving behind only truth. You become sharper, bolder, wiser. You stop needing guarantees and start trusting yourself. And once you reach that point, pain no longer controls you. You control it. And maybe that's the ultimate lesson, that your pain was never meant to punish you. It was meant to awaken you, to remind you of what you're made of, to force you to face your limits and then destroy them. Life doesn't get easier, you get stronger. The goal isn't to live without struggle, it's to rise through it over and over again. Because every challenge you overcome doesn't just change your circumstances, it changes you. It elevates your standards. It deepens your faith. It sharpens your edge. And one day when you look back at everything you thought was meant to break you, you'll realize it was actually building you. Every scar, every lesson, every battle became proof of your evolution. You didn't just survive, you transformed. Because the truth is, the pain you run from is the pain that holds your power. The struggle you avoid is the strength you've been searching for. Life will test you, but it will also shape you. Every challenge is a call to rise, every wound a doorway to wisdom, every failure a seed of greatness waiting to bloom. So stop fearing the fire. Step into it. Let it forge you, refine you, and reveal you. Because you were never meant to be ordinary. You were meant to be unstoppable. Here there comes a moment in every person's life when silence becomes too heavy to carry, when you realize that the weight you feel isn't the world holding you down, it's you holding yourself back. It's all the things you never said, the dreams you never chased, the potential you buried under fear and self-doubt. That's the moment when life asks you one question: when will you finally decide? Today, because the truth is, nothing changes until you do. The world doesn't move for indecision. Time doesn't pause for hesitation. Every second you wait for the right moment is a second you trade away your destiny. The right moment doesn't exist. It's created the moment you make a choice. The moment you decide that enough is enough, that the excuses, the fear, the waiting, the settling, they end now. Your transformation doesn't happen when you feel ready. It happens when you stop running from the work it requires. The decision to evolve is rarely loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet, painfully quiet. It happens in your mind before it ever shows in your life. It's the shift that says, yeah, I'm done repeating cycles that don't serve me. It's when you stop arguing for your limitations and start fighting for your freedom. The old you will resist with everything it has. It'll whisper, you've tried before, you've failed before, why try again? But that's the test. Because change isn't just about action, it's about identity. The person you've been must die for the person you're meant to become to live. That's the truth most people never face. Evolution demands sacrifice. You can't take your old patterns into your new life. You can't keep clinging to the habits, the environments, and the people that feed your weakness and expect to rise. Growth requires you to release what once felt safe, but no longer serves your purpose. And here's where it gets uncomfortable, because choosing yourself often looks like losing everything else. The people who once celebrated you may fall silent when you start evolving. The spaces that once felt familiar may start to feel too small. But that's the price of alignment. You can't stay where you were and still become who you're meant to be. Growth isolates you, not to punish you, but to prepare you. It removes the noise so you can finally hear your own voice, and that voice, your truer voice, is powerful. It's the one that knows what you're capable of, even when the world doubts it. The one that keeps whispering, keep going, Eve. End when you want to quit. The moment you choose to listen to that voice over fear, over judgment, over doubt, that's when your power begins to rise. Because real growth doesn't come from applause, it comes from authenticity. The decision to evolve is also the decision to take full accountability. You stop blaming your past, your parents, your circumstances. You stop waiting for someone to hand you an opportunity or validate your worth. You look in the mirror and realize, I am both the problem and the solution. That's where your strength is born. Responsibility isn't a burden, it's freedom. It's the power to say, if I created this, I can change it. It's the moment you stop living as a reaction to life and start living as the cause of it. Because every time you shift from blaming to owning, you reclaim control. You stop letting your emotions drive your decisions and start letting your vision lead your direction. That's how leaders are made, not through luck, but through radical responsibility. You stop waiting for life to get easier and start getting stronger. You stop seeking permission and start creating momentum. But don't mistake growth for perfection. You will stumble, you will fall, you will doubt. You will face days when the fire inside you burns low and the path ahead looks endless. That's not failure, that's transformation. Growth isn't linear, it's cyclical. You'll break, you'll rebuild, and you'll rise again and again. The key is to keep choosing evolution even when it hurts. To keep showing up even when no one notices. To keep believing in the vision even when it feels far away. Because every small decision you make, every time you choose discipline over distraction, purpose over pleasure, truth over comfort, you move closer to the life that's waiting for you. You might not see the progress day to day, but one morning you'll wake up, look around, and realize you're not who you used to be. That's the power of consistent evolution. It doesn't shout, it whispers, And when you finally get there, when you step into that next version of yourself, you'll understand that it was never about reaching a destination. It was about becoming the kind of person who never stops growing. Because once you decide to evolve, you can never go back to who you were. You see the world differently. You see yourself differently. You understand that your life isn't happening to you. It's happening for you. Every challenge was molding you. Every loss was redirecting you. Every delay was strengthening your patience. You'll realize that the version of you who once begged for change has become the one creating it. You'll stop waiting for miracles and start being one. That's what evolution truly is. It's the decision to become intentional with your life, to stop existing and start expanding. Because in the end, evolution isn't a choice you make once. It's a commitment you renew every single day. It's the quiet, relentless promise to never settle for the version of you that's convenient when the one that's or extraordinary as possible. You are not here to repeat the past. You're here to rewrite it. You are not meant to shrink, you are meant to rise. So decide to evolve, decide to become. Decide that the next version of you begins now. Oh, there comes a moment in life when you realize that everything you've been searching for, every ounce of strength, courage, and clarity was never lost. It was buried. Buried beneath the noise, the fear, the opinions of others, and the stories you told yourself about what you could or couldn't be. You've spent years looking for validation, chasing approval, trying to fit into spaces that were never built for you. And yet, somewhere deep inside, there's a voice that's been waiting, patiently, powerfully, whispering, "Hey, you were never meant to blend in. You were meant to break through." Well, that's the voice of your truth, the one that refuses to be silenced, the one that knows who you are before the world told you who to be. And once you learn to listen to that voice, everything changes. Because truth doesn't just set you free, it sets you apart. The journey back to your truth isn't about adding more, it's about peeling back layers. You don't become powerful by becoming someone else. You become powerful by remembering who you were before fear took over. The truth is, most people aren't living, they're performing. They wear masks that match the expectations around them, speaking words that sound safe but feel empty. They smile for the world but are silently suffocating inside. But real power doesn't come from pretending, it comes from presence. It comes from the moment you stop playing small and start standing tall in your authenticity. When you stop shrinking your light to make others comfortable, you reclaim yourself. Because the moment you choose truth over approval, you become untouchable. Authenticity is magnetic. It pulls in the right people, the right opportunities, the right purpose. But you'll never find it while living as someone you're not. Owning your truth requires courage, the kind that doesn't wait for permission. It's the courage to say, "This is who I am, and I'm no longer apologizing for it." Or the world will try to make you doubt that choice. It will label your confidence as arrogance, your independence as defiance, your voice as too loud. But you can't let their discomfort dim your truth. Because the very thing they resist is the same thing they secretly admire: freedom. People fear what they don't understand, but that's not your responsibility to fix. Your only job is to live your truth so fully that it becomes impossible to ignore. That's what leadership looks like. Not forcing others to follow, but inspiring them to find their own power. When you live in alignment, you don't chase energy, you attract it. You don't compete, you create. You don't conform, you command. But truth isn't always beautiful. It's raw, it's inconvenient, and it often requires you to let go of things you thought you couldn't live without. It will demand that you release the people, habits, and versions of yourself that no longer align. It will test your loyalty to your own evolution. And sometimes it will hurt. Because shedding what's false means facing what's real. And reality doesn't always feel good, but that's where transformation lives. The truth strips you down before it lifts you up. It breaks you open so that light can get in. Most people stop there. They run when it hurts. But the ones who keep going, who allow the pain to purify them, emerge unstoppable. Because once you face your truth, no lie can ever own you again. You become unshakable, not because life gets easier, but because you stop hiding from it. Living your truth isn't a one-time declaration, it's a daily discipline. Every day you're faced with choices, silence or speak, settle or rise, follow or lead. Every day you decide whether to betray your truth or embody it, and those small choices, those invisible moments, are what build your identity. Integrity isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. It's about showing up in alignment even when it's inconvenient. It's easy to be authentic when everyone agrees with you. It's harder when they don't. But that's when it matters most. Because your truth isn't meant to please the crowd, it's meant to guide your path. When you stop negotiating with your values, you start walking in purpose. And purpose is powerful. It makes you fearless. You stop begging life for meaning and start creating it. And then one day, you'll look back and realize that every moment of confusion, every heartbreak, every silence, every battle was never wasted. It was preparation. All of it was guiding you back to yourself. You'll understand that your truth was never something to find, it was something to uncover. It was there all along, waiting for you to remember. You'll stand taller, speak clearer, and move differently. Because truth gives you gravity, it anchors you in who you are while freeing you from who you were. You'll no longer need to prove yourself, because you'll know yourself. And once you know yourself, no one can unmake you. That's the moment you stop surviving and start living a life that's not built on performance but on purpose. A life that feels like are you. Or because the ultimate victory isn't becoming someone new, it's becoming someone true. Your truth is your power, your peace, your compass. It's the foundation that can't be shaken, the light that can't be dimmed, the fire that can't be extinguished. So stop waiting for permission to be who you are. Stop shrinking to fit into places that were never meant for you. Speak your truth, live it, stand in it. Because when you do, you don't just change your life, you change the world around you. The truth isn't something you chase, it's something you become. And when you finally do, you become unstoppable.